Hey, it's Kat at Kattalestv. As my eyes are losing it with this wind stuff. But one of the things I never did a video on is Megan loves to think of herself as so smart, as so nice, as the nicest, kindest, best friend ever, and how she was trying to protect Tori and Kelsey that night, because of the George Floyd situation and the Breonna Taylor and how, she's Captain Save a Friend. But one thing I didn't understand is how did she fool the arriving officers, the EMTs that put her into the gurney, into the ambulance, and the Cedar Sinai doctors that saw her in the emergency room? How did she fool them? Because she told them she wasn't shot. And everyone treated her like it was a glass wound. So you're telling me that the LAPD doesn't know she's shot. I mean, that could happen, right? That's logical. Maybe one time. Fool me one time, no big deal. Fool me twice. But you're telling me that EMTs that normally deal with gunshots and other weapons or injuries in LA don't know what a difference between a gunshot wound and glass is? Because nobody said she was shot. The EMTs didn't say she was shot. And then if you allow that to pass, what about the fucking Cedar Sinai doctors? The emergency room doctors don't know what a fucking gunshot wound is. So there you have it. That's just the obvious. But see, Megan is the clever one. Megan's the one who saves everybody, who's the nicest person ever, but yet she was arrested for domestic violence. Everything she says is a fucking lie. It's just so pathetic that people are still fighting the DNA results. I mean, Jesus Christ. I just feel like either Americans are so fucking stupid and or so lazy, because the jury was lazy or the jury was bought. I don't even know. And I remember all the tricks the prosecution was using. They were saying that Tori was trying to talk to one of the jurors. And this chick came to court, by the way. She was a fashion designer. She would always come to court with her stomach exposed. Not that there's anything wrong with that. However, if you're on a jury, you should dress professionally at least. These people dressed like they just got out of bed. But it was right before Christmas. And I'm not trying to judge people, but the point is she walked into the elevator that he was in. And of course the prosecution used that to try to make look like Tori was guilty. They used every fucking thing they could do to make him look guilty or to try to imply that he was, a bad person or bribing people. And it reminds me of Trump, because he's a projectionist. He accuses other people of being criminals and stuff like that, but yet he's the criminal. So I really do believe Megan Thee Stallion has a lot of similarities to more famous psychopathic narcissists. But I mean, she's hiding in plain sight. Everything she says is that she's the best. She's the greatest, she's the prettiest, she's the best body. I mean, no offense, but... And you guys probably believe she didn't have any plastic surgery. Please. They all lie and say they don't have plastic surgery. And they do. Even Kylie Jenner said she didn't have plastic surgery, and she did. These people just lie. But the thing about Megan is, literally, Tori's looking at 22 years over her bullshit. And Kathy Ta, literally, I swear to God, that woman did everything in front of us as well as behind the scenes to get Tori, to get that conviction. I haven't figured out what her deal is. Is she, is her mom a tiger mom and she's just evil? Because I don't believe she loves the law. I don't believe she loves justice. I believe she likes a win, and I believe she wants to use this case to incarcerate more black and brown people. But the whole point is they want us to be stupid and passive and to accept this case. This case sets a precedent that they can do it to anyone. And the funny thing is, they have done it to anyone. Because I don't know if you guys saw the video. I talked about this a long time ago. But while I was covering this case, there was a Latino gentleman that sat next to me in the hallway. He didn't know who I was, and he didn't speak any English. He had an interpreter, but his lawyer was trying to get him to plead guilty, and he was saying, hey, I didn't do it. And he was sitting like inches away from me, and my heart was breaking because he was saying, you know, I'm innocent. And the white lawyer was like, hey, man, probably a public defender because this guy didn't have any money. He was working. He's like, just plead guilty. Say you stabbed him. You're going to have, you know, a record, and you'll go to like some program or something. And if you miss one day, then you'll go to jail. And this guy has to work. So the whole point is, how are you going to work if you're in a program that's hoping you're going to fail? It's a setup. But he was innocent, but he didn't have anyone defend him. Even his lawyer is trying to get him to do a plea deal. So all I'm trying to say is they make money off of people being in jail, right? Free labor, more slaves. But yeah, Kathy Todd needs to be dealt with by the California State Bar. And sometimes those state bar companies, they don't really do anything. I call it a company, but if not the state bar, as well as the California Association of District Attorneys, like under an ethics probe, as well as a federal, I'm trying to remember what that's called. When your constitutional rights are violated, it can be a federal crime. So anyway, it's Kattalestv. Leave me a comment down below. Because obvious to me, this case is obvious. It's so obvious. See, sometimes, like, I remember reading one of Robert Greene's books. I pretty much read most of them. Art of Seduction and 48 Laws of Power, and then the 50 Laws of Power he really wrote for 50 cents. Long story short, the grifters tell an outrageous lie to see if they can get away with it. And like, it's almost like magic. So they just keep lying. But again, I think she counted on that we were going to be stupid. And we're not stupid. So keep investigating, keep bringing up evidence, because also, let's just say this, the other side, the lying side, they're throwing all kinds of PR out there, trying to, you know, change the narrative that, you know, like Megan had a documentary drop the day that the DNA dropped for Tory. It's like, come on. But that's how they do. They're doing us a favor because we're knowing what they do. This is what they do every day. TMZ Zero. They make up shit. And because they're in line with the people with the money, and especially Kylie Jenner's mom, Kris Jenner, her and Harvey Levin have a huge relationship. They've been buddies since like day one. How do you think the Kardashians became so popular? By the help of TMZ. Kris Jenner has Harvey Levin on her speed dial, vice versa. They invite each other to their parties. NDAs, you have to sign NDAs. But yeah, that's just a little bit of tea. Anyway, it's Kat at Kattalestv. I gotta do some more self-care because I'm effing exhausted. So anyway, if you want to support me, I'm gonna I'll share you my mailing address, and you can send me money or a phone. I need a new phone, right? Buy money for a phone and a new camera, because my other camera is falling apart, and the guy that fixed it, he retired. Anyway, bye. Kattalestv. Self-care, y'all. Self-care. Because this shit is draining. You know, this case literally has taken over my life for the last, 4 months? Because it bugged me so much. When I was sitting in court, I just saw so many shenanigans and so many lies. I was like, who the fuck do these motherfuckers think they are? And I don't even talk that way. Not normal anyway. But yeah, this case has brought out the black in me. Huh? Black Panther.